From the minds of Just Crazy Podcasts and other Fizzr media shows, welcome to Fizzr.
Welcome, guys, to another episode of the Fizzr Media Group. We're here to talk about another movie review. This is a movie that was just released on October 21st, Thursday. And so we're here to talk about Dune is the movie. I mean, it has a back plot for some of you. The older generation would know Dune from the 80s. The younger generation, if you haven't had a chance to, you can watch it. I mean, the graphics might be up to your cup of tea because, this is back in the 80s when technology wasn't what it is today. However,
or even close.
We're here to talk about Dune 2021. What do you think, brother?
Villeneuve he's a master. Like the world he creates, like the world building
he had a couple in there.
Oh yeah. It's a whole galaxy he creates.
Literally.
But like the world he creates is super just interesting.
It is interesting.
It's just an interesting world, and he went out of his way to build it in a very particular type of way. That's just, it's so visually enticing that when you're watching, you're like, okay, this is a lot of eye candy of what I'm watching right now.
This is based in 8,000 years in the future, dude. And I have seen a lot of good movies, and this is a sci-fi movie, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I can say I don't recall seeing a sci-fi movie as detailed as this, where what I mean by detailed is it tells a story. Not only does it tell a story, it takes you along for the ride of the entire scene. Like every scene, it takes you on from the beginning of that particular scene all the way through the end of that scene. It don't leave anything out. The flying, the running, it don't cut to another scene. It stays with that scene till that scene's completely end. Then it goes to another scene.
I kind of didn't feel that way.
What do you think?
I felt as if that it gave you the stuff they thought was important. It might be because WE might have told him to cut down on the runtime. It probably was a much longer movie.
2.5 hours.
It probably was a much longer movie. It probably was closer to 3. It probably was closer to 3.5 hours.
I don't doubt it. I mean, considering what I saw, I felt like it was that long, honestly.
It felt like there could be a lot more movie there, like a director's version or something like that's probably be a lot longer.
If like you just mentioned it, that was an origin story of him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it got from the point of him, his mom teaching him coming to recognition of who he was, who he is, all the way up to the point where he meet the team, where he finally fully engages of who he is. The entire movie was about that part of it. So we know there's a larger piece behind that, because that only shows a small portion of him recognizing who he really is.
But essentially my pet peeve inside the movie is that there's a lot of stuff that's I'm going to tell you, not show you. And I know that Ice here is like, they showed you everything they showed you the scenes they wanted to show you. There's a lot of scenes that they don't show you.
Well, he's speaking of like some of the back characters that were in the movie, how they just pop in there and you're like, wait a minute.
Even some of the main characters, they have scenes that they don't show you.
They don't
like
they don't fully explain.
There's a lot of scenes and stuff that happens with Paul you don't get.
So we'll start there. What do you think of the plot?
Plot? I actually give the plot for this movie a A.
I agree. Like, again, I was expecting to be a good movie, and then you see the trailers and what have you, and then you're like, okay, I want to watch it. It's interesting. I want to watch. But then you watch the movie, you're like, whoa.
Very well thought out.
Like, that's detail. Like, It's very well thought out movie, very detailed movie. So I 100% agree with you. Like, I give it an A. That's definitely a 4.5 star movie, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
What do you think about the script?
The script? The script ties with the screenplay, ties with the acting. I just want to put them together. The reason why I want to put them together is the script, of course, leads to the acting. And I will say, even my man Jason Momoa and Bautista, I thought it was pretty good. And I will also give that an 8. I'm 4.5 with that as well. Like, I didn't see any part to where oh man, this character's terrible. Oh man, this character's not holding. No, like even the small B characters that was popping in there for just a few, words, what have you. Everybody, I thought, my opinion, I thought did a good job in that movie, Dune. I thought it was just going to be a regular sci-fi movie. It's good. I got the action, but no, it wasn't like that. It was a very detailed, thought out sci-fi movie. You don't think of it. You think of suspense and thrillers, with the mind games. But this is a sci-fi movie. That is a well thought out movie. You didn't think so?
No, I didn't think so.
What do you think about the acting?
I thought the acting was. Well, I think the
acting was bad.
I think the scripting was bad.
You thought the scripting was
bad? The acting. I think I would give the acting. I'd give the acting. I would give the acting I would say a.
You rather than 90%?
It's at B plus to A minus, and really that's writing on.
That's why I met with.
That's writing on Bautista being horribly useless in that movie. He has two lines in the movie. One is him just randomly yelling, saying, "Why are you letting them take everything away from me?" Like what? What? Why is he so opinionated about this thing?
Yeah, we try not to give too many spoiler alerts, but he's right. But no, he's right because his character had so much power in the movie, and for you to just kind of cut him off.
Man, I didn't even understand why. I didn't even understand why the one character goes and does the attack anyway.
Wait a second. I don't want to cut us off because I just had an epiphany and it just popped in my head. But it's still, we only talking about Dune. So, about the movie Dune, we talk about this always, right? As far as in every group, where's that always is? There's always one what? Bad thing.
What do you mean?
One Judas, right? One Judas.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you knew that was going to happen.
I didn't see that part.
I did.
That. A Judas, bro.
I saw that. I saw that a mile away.
Did you see that guy? Did you see Dr.
I saw it from the first time that he was talking to him in another language when he was there. When they came to test him.
I mean, when the second time he talked to the son is when I realized, wait a second, something afoot here. It's not right. And then again, had that not happened, they could not have done what happened.
Oh, of course not.
It's to say, like the only way you can fall is if somebody trade.
But I still don't understand.
Spoiler alert, we do apologize again.
I still don't understand why, like, instead of the uncle, Bautista was a better fit for what happened. I don't understand why they decided to do that.
Talking about Josh Brolin being the uncle?
No. I'm talking about when that attack happened.
Oh,
that should have been Bautista.
But them battling, that would have been Bautista. The uncle versus Bautista battling would have been a cool.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been. It should have been Paul and Bautista.
Because that's true. He should not have.
I don't know why this dude was there. I'm like, what? I don't know you. I don't care about anything you like. I understand your hierarchy, but like.
Well, I think Bautista's role was a higher person than the other guy, though, wasn't he?
No, that was remember he called him his uncle.
Oh, you're talking about the bigger guy.
Yeah, I don't know why he was. I have no idea why.
Well, he could float and levitate and stuff. So
yeah, but why would exactly why?
And he was huge.
Why would he go there?
Yeah, I don't. Well, it was set up by the emperor. Remember,
Same Bautista, same family. Wouldn't have made a difference.
The emperor told him to go. He couldn't have died. That's what he's saying. Yeah, like the emperor was control. So
emperor controlled it, and we're spoiling it like a mother effer right now.
Yeah, we are. I mean, this movie was So unfortunately, we
like that was the part that the reason why I would give this plot an A plus except for that. Because that dude was at a level that
because it wasn't perfect. Exactly.
He's floating. He's doing everything he needs to do to say I'm at this level. And then you be like, I need you to go down there and do this. And it's like, what?
But you got
you literally have a dude here that's saying one line. He literally has one line. Like you just use him.
I agree.
Like
I think Bautista should have had
That
a
should
bit bigger part.
that scene right there should have been Bautista.
I agree.
And
he should have came later the second time. The second time when he was actually there is when he should have showed up.
And that's my second problem is that how did Paul get from the hallway to that room? Show me that. Who did that?
Right, he just woke up there. That's right. Yeah.
Like there's a lot of stuff inside the movie that I felt that was not explained well. But it's a long story.
So if they would explain that too, like he mentioned
earlier, it's probably 3.5 hour movie.
Had they explained everything. They couldn't explain everything.
I'm sure on the cutting room floor.
He probably did explain everything.
He probably did. But I'm sure Warner Brothers came in and said, we can't do this.
So he had to pick and choose which pieces he wanted to keep in and which pieces he didn't.
I'll pick this over Justice League anytime. So.
I would pick, yeah. If Justice League got a 4-hour movie, this could be a 4-hour movie. I promise you, this would have been a better 4-hour movie.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I promise you. Because I like to say, all it was missing was the full story.
Yeah.
Like, tell everything, which I don't think he would have had a problem doing, considering how detailed he went for everything else.
And honestly, the action inside the movie,
it fit.
All of it fit. None of it was out of place.
Bro, you know the worms, because that's a part of that's in the trailer too. I didn't expect it to be like that. I thought it was gonna be different. Like, you know what I mean? Like, them moths was completely underground. It only came up, you know.
Who's gonna eat?
Not even that. Remember, it was under the ground. The first 2 times?
Yeah.
It never came up.
Third time,
it
was something different.
It was real different. It was kind of cool what happened, though. Now, this part we won't alert on it, but remember when they had the little hooks? I was like, okay. Now, that was kind of cool to realize control the sand. Like, I like that part.
And that was the other part for me that was very off-putting. Is that if you have a civilization that's big enough
that lives in the desert?
No, I'm not even getting to that.
Okay.
That basically Paul was in charge of this massive house and like this whole civilization. I think about it like Game of Thrones. There's nothing you could do in Game of Thrones, to make the Bannisters leave.
I can see that correlation.
Like they're never gonna leave their whole. They're not gonna evacuate their whole home.
Right.
Like they'll send people.
Right.
They'll get new people.
Right.
But they're not leaving it.
Right.
So like the fact that like it was all moved to this new place, and then all you gotta do is just get rid of the new place, and you just get rid of the whole everything.
Right.
And it's like that's awfully clean, and that was my problem with the plot. It's like this. There's big, massive, huge question marks on the plot.
Right. Well, I mean, at this point we're nitpicking.
I'm not nitpicking.
You're nitpicking.
Those are my problems.
That's a good movie though. That's a good movie, bro. It was.
I don't rate movies as if they're
good or bad.
As if I don't do good or bad. Everything is in the gray for me. You already know that.
So what is Jiu-Jitsu then?
Jiu-Jitsu is.
It's a great movie.
No, it's not a good movie.
What is it then? You just said you don't do it good and bad. So what is Jiu-Jitsu?
Jiu-Jitsu is a very poor, very poorly put together movie. That's bad. That's bad plot. That's bad screenplay. That's bad script. That's bad acting. That's bad concept. That's bad structure. It's bad. Everything about that movie is bad. Like nothing went well. The only thing that went well is people got their paychecks. Everything else was bad.
You're right. They got paid to do it.
That's it. That's everything.
Hey, the only thing good about Jiu-Jitsu was the fact that it was over and I don't got to watch it again.
Oh, that was bad.
Yeah, I think I fast forwarded some of it. But
so
anyway,
so this movie,
Dune.
I would give this movie, without question, 4 out of 5 stars.
I agree. I mean, I would. I'm right there. 4.5. Like, I really like the movie Dune. It was well detailed. Only thing that happened, it'd have been more detailed, which would have just made it a 3-hour, 4-hour movie. It very well easily could have been a 4-hour movie.
Yeah, easily could have been at least a 3.5-hour movie. Easily. I would say, but I would definitely say there are major things inside this movie that absolutely make, like, they just jump to really far conclusions. And I understand in that world that might be how that works. But we're just viewing that world, and that's the reason why it gets 4.5. It gets 4 stars and not 4.5 stars for me.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, if you can stomach the old graphics, it is worth watching the original Dune to give a concept of what they're trying to say. But I will say it's an old movie, and it falls into the old movie category of technology wasn't what it is today. So you
what
have to
year
get
is that
around
movie?
part. Like, bro, I think it had to be like 80, 81, something like that. Something like that.
Jeez.
80, 81, 80, 81, something like that.
What?
That was back when Flash Gordon and all them stuffs were coming out around the same time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's 80, 81.
That's old. That's super old.
Clash of the Titans, the original.
Yeah,
80, 81.
Play-Doh one.
Bro. that's where we at with it. That's where that movie sits at. So
yeah, those worms are on a table like this.
they got the big box around to make it look bigger than what it is.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. But again, if you go back and watch that movie, it gives you a better idea. And then when you watch the current movie, it makes it better because then you realize what that movie was, what this movie is. Okay. And they didn't deviate like on the other movies we've talked about in the past. How they make one part, then the very next rewrite is completely off base. Like, what? What are you doing?
One of the things I'll say about this movie that I think was absolutely fantastic is that its use of CGI is so clean.
It's clean.
That you almost never get taken out of it by CGI.
I can 100% agree and say that CGI is one of the best we have seen. And we compare it to Marvel CGI, and they have great CGI.
Yeah.
This CGI felt realistic.
Yeah, this is the best. This is the best CGI I've ever seen Warner Brothers.
I mean, I'm fought by nobody.
yeah,
I mean, I don't care who you pick up. This
Warner Brothers
great.
does not do CGI looks like this ever.
Whomever the guy was behind the animation and their CGI and their graphics designs and all, whomever were.
I gotta assume that the copters, the ships, everything there has got to be green screen. Now, I don't think any of this is practical.
And if you see the copters, kind of cool how they had them like dragonflies.
That was
kind of cool.
That was
because in the trailer you see them, they look like, but then when you watch the movie, you wait a second, this is like a dragonfly copter, bro. That was the concept.
Oh, you know, someone's trying to figure out how to do that right now.
You already know. I mean, it can be done, but
I don't know if it'll fly, but.
The propellers can. I mean, it'll take a lot of mechanical engineering going on to it, but it can be done. I think that can.
That oscillation was extensive,
bro. Was it?
Yeah.
But that's CGI, and like you say, I thought it was well put. It fit, and it wasn't just CGI. The way it fit inside of the movie,
and I think the color grading on the movie.
That's what it. Yes.
The color grading movie and the color and the way it's scored, like everything's there.
Makes it look
It
real.
makes everything fit together seamlessly.
It makes it look like this is so it don't seem like a movie set.
The only thing that I found off-putting inside the movie that I thought was an interesting approach was the blue eyes.
You got to go back to the original movie to understand that.
I understood why, but
remember, they weren't. So I don't think they were human. He was human, but I don't think they were human. I think they were something else. With the blue eyes.
Well, no, they said in the movie the blue eyes is because of the spice.
Right. Because of the spice of...
Because the spice from the sand.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, because he was like, the spice is bothering me when they was in the thing. So, yeah. The spice is just floating around in the air. And they had to... So, that's another concept, too. Think about the engineering that goes into that. Spice is floating in the air like particles.
Mm-hmm. So, eventually it'll settle, but as soon as you do anything,
but they weren't getting it where it was settling. They was getting it out of the air, like air particles, and they was... doing it, and they was being resourceful with it.
Well, they were digging it up out of the sand too.
Right, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
But they was very resourceful.
Man.
Well, remember, the Bautista and them took most of the equipment with them when they left.
Yeah.
So they were still been able to do it off of the one little machine they had left.
And they're very serious about bodily fluids on that plane.
And dude, I was like, wait a second, are y'all really gonna? Well, no spoiler alert. I'm not gonna. So yeah, but. You're right. They're real serious about bodily fluids, in a gross but effective.
It makes sense.
Way it does.
It also let me know clearly that I don't ever want to get stuck in the desert.
Again, I don't want to spoil it, but yes, I second that notion. Stuck in the desert, stuck anywhere where there's no water supply.
Yeah, no, it seems like your priorities change a lot
drastically, but. Hey, you do what you got to do, right?
Yeah.
So, so what do you think of the overall screenplay, acting?
Overall,
overall, I give it for a
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5 stars. Yeah. I mean, I'm teetering to 4.5.
I know it seems like you actually liked it a bit more than me.
I just thought I wasn't expecting. I'm you know how sci-fi movies are. You don't think you see sci-fi like regular sci-fi. This movie had like I don't know. It had like a story to it that was different from all your sci-fi movies. It was just different. It was a well thought out, well put together science fiction movie, and that's why.
But I think that's because the book is extensively thick.
It is, and this movie almost matched the book. Because remember, though, this is only the first part of it. They ain't even scratched the surface with what it really could be yet. And I hope there's a 2.
I would say that's if Warner Brothers greenlight a 2.
If they don't greenlight a 2, man, this is gonna be terrible.
It'll probably greenlight a 2 because I tried to watch it at 6:30 when it came out, and it was lagging a little bit.
I know.
That means people was
watching
it.
And if you give Suicide Squad a 2, you got to give Dune a 2. That's all I'm saying. WB, I'm just saying. If you gave Suicide Squad a 2, you must have Dune a 2. Because Suicide Squad, to comparison,
the Suicide Squad that got a 2 was under AT&T Warner Brothers.
Still WB.
It's not under Discovery. I don't know how Discovery feels about these movies. I don't know what Discovery's going to do.
Discovery
for any
Plus, if y'all listening, I hope you are. That movie was done well. Bring the people back. Maybe add in some more. And it's okay to be detailed because obviously we like it. Tell the story, but tell the whole story. It's okay. As long as you're telling the whole story, I don't think we'll have a problem with it. Because 2.5 hours movie, I was like, man, this movie, I'm watching football. Forget football. I'm actually into this movie. I actually did not watch Thursday Night Football. I watched the entire 2 hours and 36 minutes, right?
I don't know. I put it on pause a whole bunch of times, did other stuff, and came back.
I watched the whole 2 hours.
Like I was nowhere near as intrigued as you were because a lot of the movie it seemed really slow.
Well, I'm slightly older, so I do remember the original Dune movie.
Oh,
yeah.
If you remember the original Dune movie,
I'm slightly older than you are.
Slightly at that point.
I am slightly.
It's like
this movie came out when you were born.
Sounds like a college career.
This movie came out. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. So, Dune, we like it. Thumbs up. Recommend it.
Yep, definitely recommend it. Anything that's above 3.5, a 3-star for me is definitely recommended.
Definitely recommended. I agree. Definitely recommended.
He gives it a 5 out of 5.
I don't give it a 5. It's not perfect. I'm between the 4 and 4.5. Is where I am.
He likes to stay in between. Like he's on the fence. Like he doesn't really like to grab one or another.
He gotta hold you.
Like he likes to make sure you guys are thoroughly confused of what he reveals.
Absolutely, that's the goal. Give you something to think about. Gotta put thought into it. If you don't put thought into it, it's not gonna work.
Unless it's Suicide Squad 2, then he
don't get it.
No thought.
It's thought. Just not positive.
All right, guys. Appreciate having you on here, and let us know in the comments if anything else you actually want us to review. And see you guys in the next review.
Thank you so much for choosing to watch us. Join us for the next show. Have a good one.